complete search on the property that we found driving for dollars, 8250 Weybridge Drive. Pretty much I will copy just the address. And here in Realtor.com, which is one of my choice, I don't have access to the MLS, so I use the commercial websites. I like it, tends to be very accurate. When I talk to some of my real estate agents friends, as far as the data I can gather from this or others like Trulia.com or Redfin.com, Zillow.com, some like those. My preferences are particularly in Realtor.com and Trulia for various reasons that I won't get into details now. But you could see what other properties have been trying to sell on that area, right? Our subject property is here on the green dot. The ones on red are properties that are for sale right now. That one for 130,000. This other one for 205. Okay, give this preliminary information here. Other properties have recently sold in the area for 145, 160, and these are good candidates to utilize as comparables or comps. Another good information I get from this Realtor.com tells me when the property was last sold in 1993 for almost $78,000. Other important information, nearby schools, the distance of those schools, things that can impact the value of the home. And lastly, kind of like property tax information and other things that we will verify, but more than verify is to obtain from the primary sources. In this case, we go to the website of Duval County Property Tax. We paste that address that we previously copied, just the street. Right? That comes up with the homeowners, Mr. John and Loretta Draper. Once I click on that link, should be able to see the whole tax data card. Okay. This will tell me also if they are delinquent on taxes. In this case, they are not. Okay, interesting fact here. In 2010, the owner's name passed from husband and wife to only Mr. John. So this couple either split in 2011 or late 2010, or Miss Loretta passed away, and now the deed is only one person's name. But that's kind of like preliminary information that you can gather just from the owner status. We can go more in depth into the year of the taxes. This would break down pretty much the tax bill, but also shows the total of the amount this owner paid. On November 4, 2019, they pay $1,044 with 46 cents. This is including the tax homestead exemption. So we need to be careful as investors not to take that number as a bottom line, because investors do not benefit from homestead exemption. That's applicable only for our primary residence. So this number could potentially increase another 30-35% increase. So that's pretty much with the tax collector website information we can gather. From there, I proceed to the property appraisals website using the address 8250 Weybridge. It's a drive, no street direction, so that's pretty much all. And we do a search. That tells me here the information on the tax collector website is verified as accurate. It gives me the real estate number, RE number. We click that link, and that breaks down even more that this home, in fact, is only on Mr. John Draper's name. He's the owner. Okay. It's got a little bit more in description, sometimes explaining what the et al means. Okay. Um, there's also Miss Loretta's names here. Can be a little bit sometimes contradictory, but the way we will find out for sure is when we come to the sale history. On the sale history, you go to the most recent book page. In this case, 1993, right? That's the most recent one. The warranty date was property here on the left column. We can see pretty much also the guarantees and the grantors. This is a, well, as we know, rising from 1993 is a little bit of an old copy, but we should be able to see here this home. Robert and Karen, those were the previous owners. They call Mr. John and Loretta. They're the grantees. Wow, the sum of $10,000, $10. So this could have that's the least amount a property can be sold here in Florida for $10. Pretty much you can become a deed owner. Could be that these were friends, other type of agreement, but yeah, this family or this couple owns this home since 27 September 1993 for the amount of $10. But the deed definitely shows me is on both of their names. If Miss Loretta would have been deceased, then probate is what would take care that Mr. John is able to sell this home, right? Now, from here, I want to use that real estate number to also search, if needed, go a little bit more in depth to the Duval 0165 Duval maps 19269 19 space 2614. That should takes me to the same property. This is just to correlate data. Okay, these are good practices simply to make sure we cover all our bases. And here I might have entered a digit wrong because this is not the home we're looking for. I go back and verify, right? 0165192694, and that's the error. I entered 2614. It should be 2694. Awesome. All right. This looks more like the property of interest, Mr. John Draper here again. The correct address, 8250 Weybridge. It was definitely bought on 1993 for the transaction price of 77.9. Now, this number does not match what the deed says, right? The deed also only shows one page, the first page. So it's very likely that further pages throughout this deed document goes and describe. So what could have happened is that also a mortgage was created. Perhaps this was a seller's financing. Back then in 1993, that was pretty common to do. Okay. But I don't want to go too much on that tangent and confuse everybody. The point here is to verify and confirm who owns the property deed on whose name is, which is John and Loretta. At this point, we should not care so much about the amount they bought it for. Okay, and this map, there should be other type of view. Stuff there. Talks about the laws. I can go more in depth. Just need it or not, right? Last thing I like to do, I like to go to Google Earth and search the property on Google Earth. 8250. That gives me a good bird's eye view. Perhaps I can see the conditions of their backyard, okay, or surrounding homes. Okay. An idea how close or not they're from the highway. Google Maps even has rules, right? It tells me, okay, this home from the highway is approximately from point A to point B. This is in meters. Should be able to change that here to miles. It tells me it's about a third of a mile, 0.3 miles, actually not a third, but about 0.3 miles, which is about, I mean, it's not much. It's about just 600-700 yards. So these are some of the good tools that Google Earth provides. Back again, the same home address. And yeah, that pretty much summarizes what is a very brief desktop search on a virtual, what can be a virtual driving for dollars. Now going back to realtor.com, right? I can also get information here as far as comparables, like I was mentioning earlier. I want to open also, now that we're in this topic, redfin.com. Another one of I prefer to work with because the various information provides. 8250 Weybridge should come up. I don't even need to type everything on it. Other than this picture, which we know correlates with realtor.com, I can tell right away what has been sold recently. On the map, very well shows where this property is located and some nearby comparables. Comparables should be at most 6 months in difference to the time they intend to purchase. We see top prices ranges around the low 170s, mid 160s, right? I can continue here exploring. So Redfin tends to be a little bit more straightforward when it comes to comparable sources, and as well as the home facts, a little bit more visible than other websites. Okay? And that pretty much concludes the objectives of this training. Right? Correlate that it was sold on October 4, 1993 for 77.9. Definitely, we know those numbers are pretty consistent. We can make the assumption that this home has a lot of equity as long as there's no additional mortgages or HELOCs, home equity line of credits, or other things along those nature. Oh, sorry, I forgot one important aspect before we conclude is the construction. Where is my website? Oh, I'm missing that link. So my apologies. I will go over that in the next training session.